to deliver an upset. Welcome to the intense action of the PVL.
Jump.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here in the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City for match 53 of our preliminary round. It's going to be the Cignal HD Spikers against the Nxled Chameleons. As you can see on your screens, Kiara Permentilia for the Nxled Chameleons facing and going against our Cignal HD Spikers, who are in rocky waters right now. Now we've got two teams who have secured their slot in the semifinals, and you can bet that the Cignal HD Spikers are gunning for the third and fourth spot. But we all know that the Nxled Chameleons are definitely not blending in, and they definitely want to pull an upset, as Kyla mentioned a while ago. Now this is the first game of our triple header. Next up, we have 4 p.m. Akari Chargers against the Petrogas Angels, and 6 p.m. Cherry Tigo Crossovers against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Again, good afternoon. I'm Denise Dinsay, joined by our courtside reporter for this afternoon, Kyla Kingsu, and my partner, Mela Tunay. You're tuned in to the PVL, the heart of volleyball. And I know that competitions really, it's going to get even fiercer and more intense, Mela.
Well, binanggit nga ni Kyla kanina, no, fiercer na yung mga matches natin, and it's also because malapit na yung end ng eliminations, and we have two teams already secured for their Final Four slots, pero yung iba still hoping for more chances in contention, as we see Cherry Tigo standing at third next to Choco Mucho. Cignal, who'll be playing against Nxled today, is also at fourth. So ito, I've seen a lot of storylines na it gets more interesting yung mga ganitong games, kasi clearly for Nxled, this is you know, a learning experience for them. No pressure for them. Meanwhile, for Cignal, napakalaki ng meaning nito para sa kanila today, especially with a very disappointing loss against Cherry Tigo. They lost by 1 point in that last match against the Cherry Tigo crossover. So now let's see if they've, you know, bounced back from that experience mentally, physically. Kasi 5 sets yun. And it was even an extended 5th set. So tingnan natin kung naka-recover na sila from that game.
I mean, the story is strong for both of our teams because yun na nga, madlalim yung hugot ng Cignal HD Spikers, and they really want to make it, of course, to the semifinals. And on your screens right now is one of the players that is gunning for the third or fourth slot, which is none other than Jel Cayuna, responsible for the amazing playmaking that she's done against, you know, sadly, against the Cherry Tigo crossovers for them.
Well, ito nga si Jel Cayuna, tumo-throwback sa kanyang Spiker era because she tallied 10 points in that last match against the Cherry Tigo crossovers. But more than that, she also had 24 excellent sets. We know she's one of the best setters here in the PVL. Previously, she's won that award multiple times. Pero ngayon, she's currently ranked 5th in the best setter race. Pero apart from that, yung lahat ng spikers niya, all 5 spikers were also in double digits. So it goes to show how capable itong si Jel Cayuna to be an all-around player, and it was very evident in that last match.
Speaking of double digits and throwback, you know, we also have on the other side of the Nxled Chameleons, Jo Maraginot with her double-digit performance as well.
Well, mukhang throwback ang team for today because, you know, Jo Maraginot, the last time she was POG was in season 80 pa during her UAP years. But when she joined the PVL, we see some occasional showings in the stats, pero she's been very consistent for the Nxled Chameleons. Just look at her numbers, 14 points versus 12 receptions against the champion team Creamline. It's very hard to do when you have a good blocking team at talented team, talking about Creamline. And you know, in that game, itong si Jo Maraginot, at least for Nxled, was the lone double-digit scorer for the Chameleons. And so far, dati kung occasional lang natin siya nakikita sa stats, ngayon he's all over the stat sheets, and it's looking like becoming a familiar narrative for Jo Maraguinot.
And you know, Jo did say that she misses being, of course, on the scoreboard. And we're so excited to see how she will perform for today's game because you kind of want to be the villain for the Cignal HD Spikers. Like, the excitement is there, and you can really see all the players will be stepping up, even if we're just, of course, you know, concluding our preliminary rounds. But let's talk about the player matchup as well, because these two teams, again, we keep repeating, there's so much history here, and they've both got so much to prove. You've got Riri Meneses against Cam's Victoria.
Well, these are my babies from UST. That's the kind of history, no, na meron din sila.
Throwback na talaga eh.
Oo, throwback talaga ang team natin today. But let's take a look at the numbers. Riri Meneses, 0.49 average blocks per set. He's currently ranked 6th in the league. At tingnan mo naman ganong ka-close. Parang 0.1 difference lang because Cam's Victoria averaging 0.50 blocks per set. And you know, I think for Cam's Victoria, napakagandang redemption nito because you know, when she was with Akari, it's really been a roller coaster for her. Meron siyang mga highlights, but most of the time, she's also, you know, just being benched. So ngayon, nagkaroon siya ng opportunity to showcase her talent, and she's making the most out of it. Meanwhile, Riri Meneses, of course, a familiar middle blocker dito sa ating PVL, and she's won a couple of awards also. Pero ayan, ngayon, dikitan sila. It also means na dito sa PVL, anyone could really make it big, diba? Of course, Cam's Victoria, parang malayo din yung batch difference niya kay Ria, but ngayon she's even at an advantage being number 4 in the best blocking department over Ria, who's number 6 right now.
And both of them, really, they are at their peak. I mean, Riri Meneses has always been such a go-to solid for the Cignal HD Spikers, but we also saw Cam's Victoria, like you mentioned, she found her groove with the Nxled Chameleons and so many other players as well, even Jo Maraguinot. And I know Kyla has more stories that she wants to share of how both teams, you know, are feeling after their previous games, and we know with so much at stake for today's game. What's the overall energy, Kyla?
Yes, Denise and Melo. Well, we have two teams here today with two different storylines. But one thing that they do have in common is that complacency is not part of their vocabulary. Now, let me start with the Nxled side of things. Just 2 days after that tight 3-set loss against the leaders of this league, they're set to face another challenge, which is the challenge to deliver an upset. Now, we saw how they really pushed Creamline to their limits last Thursday, and their top scorer, Jo Maraguinot, shared with me that in their post-game dugout, her and her teammates did pause to really analyze what went wrong, and she said that it was important to break this down because they were honestly able to keep their numbers close. So they're looking to capitalize on their positives from that last match. While on the other side of the net, the Cignal HD Spikers, with their strong record, are coming off an intense 5-setter. So their strengths do lie in their offense, but every team has its vulnerabilities. And for Coach Shaq De Los Santos, he felt that the last match was nothing to be ashamed of. In his words, lumaban sila until the last second, pero kinapos lang talaga. Now, taking you back to their post-game dugout, Coach Shaq shared that it was difficult to see his girls so down and disappointed, but it was a good wake-up call, and they're looking to really implement their adjustments today to counter Nxled's attempt for an upset that is something to look forward to. Now, Denise and Mela, in a league like the PVL where we have so many stars, we have to give all of the players their well-deserved flowers. And who better to show some love than their opponents? So here we have Laika Ebon talking about her former teammate Jelka Yuna, and this feature we like to call Take It From Me.
Take It From Me, Jelka Yuna is premiere. Si Ate Jel. Sa FEU days po, nakikita ko siya, grabe yung pasensya niya. Hindi man siya first 6 dati, pero every time na pinapasok siya ni coach, pinapakita niya talaga yung best niya. Si Ate Jel kasi, sobrang bait po niya na tao. Hindi ko pa po ata siya nakitang nagalit sa amin. And ngayon, sobrang nakaka-inspire si Ate Jel. From nothing to best setter sa PVL, sobrang nakaka-inspire talaga. Saludo talaga ako sa kanya. Best skill ni Ate Jel, sobrang tapang niya. Hindi siya basta-basta sumusuko, and grabe yung pasensya niya. Grabe din yung leadership niya sa loob talaga. Sobrang excited na makalaban ko si Ate Jel kasi for me, first time ko siya makalaban ngayon na conference, and sobrang saya lang din na may chance akong makalaro siya ulit.
Once again, that was like of Nxled talking about her former teammate Jel Cayuna of the Cignal HD Spikers, who is a veteran setter. And it's always nice to see how these players really respect and admire one another. And I'm sure our PVL fans feel the same way, and we'd love to hear you guys. Kaya naman, there's a live poll right below the stream on the Pilipinas Live app where you can answer our question of the game. So let's take a look at our question of the game. For today, our question is, who will be the top scoring outside hitter in today's match? So we actually have 4 choices for you guys to pick from. First, we have Cez Molina, we have Vanny Gandler, Judith Abil, and May Luna. So once again, you can answer that on the Pilipinas Live app, or you can actually join in our conversation online using the hashtag PVL2023. So going back to our question, what do you guys think, Denise and Mela?
We don't want to say anything too soon. Sabi nga ni Mela kanina, para hindi machismis. Let's wait for things to unfold because things are certainly going to take an interesting turn here in the PVL, the Filipino Conference. Because will the Cignal HD Spikers secure a victory, or will the Nxled Chameleons be able to secure an upset? Well, let's find out, and let's get the ball rolling when we come back.
Okay, go! Oy!
Presenting our national officials of this match. First referee, Mr. Ryan Vincent Corpus. Second referee, Mr. Fernando Velarde. Now let us meet your starters for the Cignal HD Spikers. Starting off with their team captain at number 7, Frances Molina. Wearing jersey number 2, Rosalie Doria. At number 5, Vanessa Grandler. Wearing jersey number 8, Jovelyn Gonzaga. At number 18, Marivic Meneses. Wearing jersey number 22, Maria Angelica Cayuna. Head coach is Mr. Shaq De Los Santos. With their starting libero at number 9, Bia General. Calling on the starting lineup for your Nxled Chameleons. At number 2, Laika Ebon. Wearing jersey number 3, Joanna Malaginot. At number 7, Rich Macaslang. At number 9, Kiara Permentilla. Wearing jersey number 10, Camille Victoria. At number 17, Camille Cal. Starting libero is number 5, Rachel Dorfino. Head coach is Mr. Takayuki Mino. This is match number 53 between Cignal HD Spikers and Nxled Chameleons. Good luck to both teams.
And here are your starters. Start a new way to watch the PVL. via the Pilipinas Live app for Filipinos everywhere. So download and subscribe now for 149 pesos. And again, what Kyla was mentioning a while ago, kinapos yung Nxled Chameleons, you know, against their game with the Creamline Cool Smashers. So coming in now, going against the Cignal HD Spikers that you know will be able to keep pushing their limits. Hindi pwedeng kapusin yung energy, yung drive, lahat-lahat. They have got to be their 110% going against Cignal because right now, laser focus for the girls. They want to secure that third and fourth slot.
For sure, the intangibles are going to play a big factor in this game. We mentioned in the pre-game, no pressure for Nxled. Meanwhile, a lot of pressure on the side of Cignal. Plus, you know, that very exhausting loss. Imagine lose. I mean, right now, the best way to lose, especially for Cignal, para may quotient sila, is 5 sets. Kaya lang, syempre, they were at match point. They're the 5th set and then they lost that. So, iba rin yung exhaustion nun on their part. But let's see how well they've bounced back from that game. Going up against Nxled right now. We saw Makaslam being fed by Camille Cal with that basic, quick play, but with, you know, wonders for the Chameleons.
And what and who are going to be these intangibles? Because you already have your go-tos. I mean, we discussed Jal Cayuna. You also have Joe Maraginot, Krish Makaslam. You know, these players that you know will definitely deliver, but who will provide to be the spark plug, the surprise, and maybe, you know, even lead to the destruction of the other team?
Well, you know, the setters really gonna play a big factor today dahil itong si Camille Cal, she currently holds the most number of excellent sets, at least for this conference when she, you know, won the POG awards against Akari. Meanwhile, si Jal naman consistent have been winning POG honors as well for Cignal. And yun nga, nabanggit natin, all her spikers last game were in double digits, including her. So she's the 6th player in double digits. So itong dalawang naghaharap na setters na to, very capable and scoring setters as well.
We're seeing right now we're tied 2-2. We're still waiting on which team will be able to dictate the pace here in set 1. Will be able to start their momentum first. Because right now, nagbabasahan pa lang, and we're seeing right now on the screens, of course. We're seeing errors early on here in set 1. One service error each for both teams.
I was gonna say, yung nagiging trend so far, palitan ng mga middle attacks. Pero I think another trend that's emerging right now are those service errors, which they have to be careful with.
Is it the giggle? Is it, you know, that knowing that there's so much at stake for today's game?
Well, you know, serving is also a discipline. So, I think kailangan lang talaga mag-focus sila dyan kasi kanina yung service na nasa short, yun medyo parang hindi siya gigil eh. But itong atake ni Vanny Gander, not gonna cross over, yan mukha ng gigil. But ito rin yung makikita natin yung body language nila, no? If may fatigue ba from last game. Because Vanny Gander, she scored, I believe, 20 points in that match against Cherry Tigo.
And let's see if she'll be able to increase that or maybe maintain the same numbers for their game against the Nxled Chameleons. We're putting up quite a fight. We're seeing our first rally here in set 1. And Vanny, back-to-back points for Gander, the former Ateneo Lady Eagle. Let's look at
Vanny Gander, look at that, babawi. And you know, una pa lang pagpasok sa approach na yun, she had the decision na i-power tip yun, padaanin sa kamay ng blockers. I'm not sure if it was a bit too tight for her or too fast. But she's gonna make something out of that. Look at Camille Victoria with a bomb from the middle.
As we go to Kyla King, so for her report on the Cignal HD Spikers. Kyla, what's up?
Denise and Mela, it's never easy recovering from tight losses, all the more from intense and pressure-packed five-setters that could have helped the team secure their ticket to the semifinals. But a part of the beauty of the sport is witnessing how these teams bounce back and turn things around. And for the Cignal HD Spikers, this week was spent to focus on 3 R's, namely to refocus, recharge, and to restart. When I asked Jel Cayuna in their dugout this morning about her thoughts on their last performance against Cherry, her response, she said, "Naka-move on na kami." Well, joking aside, Jel emphasized that as one of the veterans, it is important to keep the team motivated and focused, especially in a game when a lot is at stake. And in hopes of quickly pulling away from Nxled, Jel says that smart and consistent combination plays have been their primary focus this week and will be their best friend today. In her words, kailangan naming mag-capitalize sa strengths namin and make them play our game. Can they do just that in straight sets? Well, we'll have to see. This report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Get the most extensive PVL coverage and catch all games live in main view, multicam, and fan stream on selected games. Download now on Google Play, Apple Store, or on PilipinasLive.com. Now back to you, Denise and Mela.
2-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers during that report by Kyla. And the gap isn't too big. I mean, Nxled really trying to keep it close. But the mistakes just keep coming for the Chameleons. And that's proving to be quite detrimental.
2 block points already for the HD Spikers, not even including yung mga magagandang block touches nila kanina. So this could be their key to use against Nxled Chameleons right now. But that error from, was that Ces Molina? That's gonna sail out from the pipe.
And I'm curious to see, after this set is finished, we find out who's going to win. How many errors were committed? Because we haven't even reached the 8th point yet, and we're seeing both teams really scrambling with these errors.
Lagi talaga yung mga coaches, sa dulo yan nagkikwenta ng errors. Because, you know, attacks like this, parang quick attack ni Meneses, sometimes it's not gonna matter when your errors really overpower you. But Coach Taka gonna try his luck with Judith Abel replacing Kiara Permedilla, who scored 8 points in their game against Creamline. Ito naman yung maganda kay Coach Taka, no? Alam niya na very coachable yung kanyang mga players. Is giving everyone experience against a team, a veteran team like the Cignal HD Spikers.
Abel tries to get a point fresh off the bench. And she does, really, Coach Tak knowing what he's doing. Judith Abel waiting.
The players really look very confident. Telling Coach Tak there was no block touch, call a challenge.
And now we have our first challenge here in set 1. Straight off a substitution. A block touch challenge.
We see Vanny Gandler on the scoreboard. She already has 4 points right now, off from 3 attacks and 1 block.
I think that's half already of her team's points. And it's really so amazing to see how Vanny Gandler is settling right in Cignal HD Spikers.
It's clearly far from Jel Cayuna's hands.
There is no block touch.
It's gonna be a successful challenge for the HD Spikers. Coach Jack Nininigurado, early stage of the game, tatawag na ng mga challenges.
Now serving, Vanny Gandler.
4-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers. Judith Abel tries once again. Gandler to Ces Molina, giving away a free ball. Jo sends that to Cal. Soft touch. Cayuna with an attack of her own. And Jel Cayuna scoring her first attack point here in set 1.
It was actually a good intention for Camille Cal to set up a running for Rich Makaslang para single blocker lang. Si Meneses kasi hindi nakakahabol yan sa running sets. But it was mistimed by Makaslang, and Jel Cayuna took advantage. And Cignal with a 6-1 run make that 7. Just like that, you're at 11-5. A 6-point disparity taken over by the Cignal HD Spikers.
And if you can pinpoint an exact moment, Melon, what changed the tide? Because for a while, I mean, you've got both of them going head-to-head. All of a sudden, now we're at 11-5.
Well, I think the moment that Cignal stopped committing those errors, they were very consistent in producing the points. So this is exactly what Nxled has to do. Wag silang sumabay dun sa errors and create their own points. And just like that, Laika Ebon also producing one for the Nxled Chameleons.
As Camille Cal will now be serving. 5-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers. Kayuna. Backset to Vanny Gandler.
Just a super high efficiency for Vanny Gandler. 6 points already for this Cignal rookie. Can you imagine being the top scorer for your team this conference, replacing, of course, the veteran Rachel Andakis, who's on a leave right now. But it's very inspiring because when you interview Vanny Gandler, she would always say how much she idolizes Molina.
Exactly.
And even surpassing her output. Being the MVP from last conference, of course, it's a different inspiration also for Vanny to step up for the Cignal HD Spikers. So Siria Meneses doing a pipe attack, not something that she does all the time, but you know, clearly, you know, Coach Shaq also wanting to develop the players, training them outside their comfort zones. Dahil syempre si Ria matangkad. Imagine if she mastered those pipe hits, talagang it's gonna make Cignal even more lethal.
And I mean, you never stop growing. I mean, just because you're already a veteran, a legend in your own right. I mean, Tiri Meneses, enough said. But to see her also, you know, trying out new things. And going back to Vanny, she always gives credit to all of her athletes for where she is right now. As we go to our first timeout, 13-7 in favor of the Cignal HD Spikers. Welcome back. You're watching the PVL, the heart of volleyball. It's a Cignal HD Spikers against the Nxled Chameleons. Cignal leading 13-7. Get access to the second All-Filipino conference of the Premier Volleyball League live and in HD on One Sports Plus, plus more premium channels for the whole family when you switch to Cignal postpaid. Subscribe to Plan 520 and enjoy 3 free months with no cash out. So call 88555 or visit your nearest Cignal dealer. Cignal HD Spikers still pulling away from the Nxled Chameleons, who are struggling right now with their errors and trying to find their groove. Meanwhile, Vanny Gandler is having quite a showing here in set 1. Again, you can watch the games live on the Pilipinas Live app, and you can also watch the UAAP on free-to-air on One Sports or in high definition on One Sports Plus. Service error for the Cignal HD Spikers. Now, fresh off our technical timeout, that's 8 serving 13. with Krish Makaslang on the service area. Cayuna setting it up for Gonzaga. Abel was there. Cal Tumaraginot. Vanny scrambling for that ball. They give away a free ball. Great blocking by the Cignal HD Spikers. Cayuna to Molina. And her second long rally here. But an attack error by Vanny Gandler ends that.
This is definitely the longest rally in this set. And it ended with that Vanny Gandler attack error. And the Nxled now has to capitalize on those errors kasi kanina dun sila nakakadikit eh. Nung merong mga pinoproduce na errors itong Cignal, and then the HD Spikers able to pull away because they managed to maintain or keep away from those errors. But let's go back to this. Another long rally ended by the reigning MVP, says Molina, with that smart drop shot. Puntang end line, that's not something you would always see. Usually, those drop shots sa gitna yan, but he took advantage. There was no libero on the court.
Great serve. And the Nxled Chameleons on a run here, cutting down the lead to just 3.
Laika Ebon, number 17 in scoring. Definitely one of the go-tos, along with John Marginot for the Nxled Chameleons. It's just really so good to see them redeem themselves, of course, with injuries haunting them and opportunities becoming limited. It's nice to see na meron silang pambawi. But speaking of pambawi, we see Jovelyn Gonzaga with her own version of a drop shot. Sa ibabaw kinuha, very high contact. Jovelyn Gonzaga, of course, previously played for Army, but she got back to her mother team as well in the Cignal HD Spikers. And every time she's here, she really plays a huge leadership role.
And speaking of huge leadership roles, Jo Maraginot right now proving to be quite the leader for the Nxled Chameleons. I mean, this is a new young team, and you're gonna need all the veteran experience, all the veteran experience that to be able to maximize what they have right now. 4-point lead for Cignal right now. And as Kyla mentioned a while ago in her pre-game, Cignal cannot be complacent because Nxled Chameleons, they're easily able to capitalize on the mistakes that Cignal is making.
You did mention na hindi sila pwedeng mag-relax, no? And look at the effort of the HD Spikers in defense, really trying to extend every rally. And this time, they're gonna maximize a point up from that error. That set was too tight. Coach Taka trying to talk to girls. This is a 5-point lead established by the HD Spikers. Nxled was actually making a run. This was 13-9 ganina. Now it's a 4-point. They cut the lead to just 4 points. And again, yung mga errors na yun, medyo tinanong mo ko kanina, no, kung sa gigil ba yun or what. But again, that service error from Jov Gonzaga, I would say no dahil short eh. And this one too by Camps Victoria. Kasi alam mo yung mga service na kinakargahan, kaya nagnenet. Pero so far, these two parang siguro wala lang sila sa tamang posisyon. That's why it's been resulting to errors.
And you have the veterans committing service errors. I mean, that's quite new. Of all the things, I mean, you would know, Mela. Now,
It happens to anyone.
Yeah. But these service errors, they're proving to be quite fatal, not just for the Cignal HD Spikers, but also for the Nxled Chameleons.
Vanny Gandler with that floater. Nakita mo from that angle ng replay. Nagmo-move talaga yung bola, no? Definitely a perfect floater. Ito yung masasabi natin, hindi naman sa gigil, but it is a make or break kind of serve for Vanny Gandler. Earlier, she had an ace, and then later on, nag-result to error. May certain contact kasi yan sa bola to control yung magiging bigat at karga niya. 8 points already for Vanny Gandler. Kayuna, as we expect her to play in this game, really contributing not just in sets. Earlier, ang dami niya ring touches sa depensa, but even scoring yet again for the HD Spikers.
And that's what makes the Cignal HD Spikers so lethal. You already have, of course, Riri Meneses, as Molina, and then dadagdag mo pa si Jel Kayuna. She sets that for Molina. Once again, Cal to Abel. And off the block.
Judith Abel. Despite having tall blockers, alam mo si Jel Kayuna, isa rin yan sa mga magagaling na mag-block yung mga setters, of course, with their height as well. But Judith Abel really finding a way to score that point.
5-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers, as that was Judith Abel serving. Jovelyn Gonzaga.
That was Rosalyn Doria. Ito yung kagandahan kay Doria, no? That last point wasn't even off from a running, the typical running spike. But she was in the right position. You see the connection dahil saktong-sakto rin yung bigay sa kanya ni Jel Kayuna right to where she was. Scoring that 20th point for the HD Spikers.
Kayuna gives away a free ball. Danny to Cal to Jo. Ooh!
Elevation of Jo Maraginot in full display against the HD Spikers. Let's take a look at that again. Look at her explosive approach. Great backswing, great follow-through. Gets that point off from an emphatic kill against the HD Spikers.
And again, a form that we're very much familiar seeing back in her UAAP days. That's why they called her the Claw. Great block there by Nxled Chameleons. Cal to Jo again, cross court. And joust at the net, ball still alive. Jel to Gonzaga. Sure point for Jovelyn Gonzaga.
Jovelyn Gonzaga to be a very smart player. Just look at Laika Ebon missing the dominant hand, the spiking hand of her co-lefty, Jovelyn Gonzaga. She was, alam mo si Ebon, nasa right position siya. If right-handed sana yung spiker. That's why you gotta keep focused on who you're blocking for you not to miss those kinds of pointers. But Doria is gonna give away another point. Lack of balance, hindi rin niya nakita yung mga blockers niya sa harapan for that joust. Next, they're trying to make a run in this first set.
And Laika Ebon flying for that attack. And she needed that to stop the bleeding for their squad.
Laika Ebon, definitely one of the higher efficient spikers for the Chameleons, as Coach Taka goes for the double sub, Mangolabnan and Navarro in. And this is what you love about this very young team, no? Ang dami mga players shift ng position. You see Camps Victoria sometimes playing opposite. Kasi ito pa naman yung developing stage nila, eh. So they could explore all they want. But look at Janine Navarro as well, blocking from the middle. Committing an error though. But this is what we were talking about. Pinasok siya sa opposite, but automatic ang pumunta doon sa opposite side. As we take a look in this replay, si Camps Victoria. So just a lot of flexibility to be explored by Nxled under Coach Taka, of course.
And I mean, the record isn't so bad for a team that is new and just participating in the PVL now with a record of 3-6. They are still winning. They're able to make those in-game adjustments, and hopefully we see them in the next conference, and it's definitely going to be better, more mature, the chemistry, more bonded.
But right now, they're going to try to gain as much experience as they can, get those wins, get those losses, but at the same time, try to make their mark with the remaining games that they have.
Well, of course, being the younger team, you have to be aware na what just happened might always happen if you know, you don't take note of who your blockers are. Kitang-kita na yung kamay ni Gonzaga nakadukot na sa side ng Nxled. So yun lang din yung isa sa asahan nating ma-develop nila, yung creativity, especially because you know the culture in Japan, even in Thailand, yung mga madudulas pumalo. So eventually, I'm sure made-develop din to ng Nxled, but look at Vanny Gander showing them how to get things done as she gets another point for the Cignal HD Spikers. 9 points already for Gander.
And right now, that's it. Cignal HD Spikers able to clinch a set 1 win against the Nxled Chameleons, 25-17, all because of that girl on your screens right now, Vanny Gander. And the Cignal HD Spikers against the Nxled Chameleons are match 53 of our preliminaries here in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. Set 1 in favor of Cignal HD Spikers, courtesy of the Golden Girl. At the moment, Vanny Gander. For a time, she was scoring half of her team's points. And you've got the Nxled Chameleons still finding their groove here. A couple of mistakes and service errors here and there, but not too bad of a performance. But the Cignal HD Spikers cannot be complacent, especially here that the Nxled Chameleons are gunning for an upset, and they want to prevent the Cignal HD Spikers from getting that slot in the semis.
So we have to take note how dominant Cignal was in the scoring department. Let's take a look at their attacks. 16 compared to 10 of the Nxled Chameleons. And look at those blocks and aces. 4 and 2 compared to none. And as much as Nxled committed less errors, at dun sila nakahabol dahil yung 7 errors na binigay ng Cignal, it happened during the early parts of that first set. So medyo nakadikit sila nung una, but when they became consistent, talagang they managed to pull away with a big lead over the Nxled Chameleons. We saw some sparks on the side of the young squad of Nxled, but not enough to really push the veterans of Cignal into, you know, the pressure that they have right now. Ngayon medyo nagme-mellow down na eh. Parang, alam mo yun, parang they're really inching closer to having higher hopes for their Final Four slot this conference.
I mean, the Cignal HD Spikers, they were able to cushion all the blows with their aggressiveness in set 1. But let's see the in-game adjustments that the Nxled Chameleons will be doing. Coach Taka, again, is very excited to see how this set 2 will play out for the Chameleons. We've seen what they're capable of, as new streaming experiences also await by the Pilipinas Live app that's available for Filipinos everywhere. So download and subscribe now for as low as 149 pesos. Cignal HD Spikers draws first blood here in set 2.
Jovelyn Gonzaga with a one-man block against Jo Maraginot. 4 points already for Gonzaga. Maraginot gonna try to avoid the hands of Gonzaga dahil nga nagiging effective talaga yung block touches and kill blocks niya. But that's gonna sail out. But we also see May Luna also inside the court. The last time I personally saw her play was against Akari, where she was named POG, I believe. Or she was a top scorer, but Camille Cal was POG that game. 14 points for May Luna there. Pero, of course, you see Laika Ebon also scoring for the Nxled Chameleons, finding the gap between those blockers.
And she has been quite aggressive at the net. Even in set 1, talagang she has been aggressive on the defense and also on the offense. Laika Ebon proving to be one of the spark plugs for the Nxled Chameleons.
John Maraginot struggling to keep up with that set. Isa sa mga napapansin ko din talaga kay Jo, gusto niya yung mga shoot na mababang, mabibilis. Even traces back to her Ateneo days, ganun talaga yung hiyang siya na set. Or at least this is my analysis as a spectator. But of course, every spiker may mga preference naman talaga. But look at Roslyn Doria. Another single man block from the side of the HD Spikers. Clearly, they've done their scouting well. And one thing I just realized now, Camille Cal had trained under Coach Shaq when she was in UP right before she turned pro. So siguro yung familiarity rin ni Coach Shaq sa diskarte ni Camille is also evident in this game. Kasi basang-basa yung spikers ng Nxled. Meanwhile, Gonzaga and Co continues to produce the points for Cignal.
And what are the offense adjustments that Nxled Chameleons have to make? Because right now, Cignal HD Spikers, they have the net guarded and they're quite predicting all the movements and spots like Jo's spot here at the side.
Even in defense, look at that. Jack Jonella even getting that check. But ito yung mga kailangan nila, yung mga one-stop plays as Laika Ebon scores another one for the Nxled Chameleons. 5 points already for Ebon, top scoring for Nxled.
As we go to Kyla for her report on the Nxled Chameleons.
Denise and Mela, while the Nxled Chameleons are out of contention for the semifinals this conference, they shared with me that they're actually looking at this opportunity to showcase and really hone the team's strengths, skills, and chemistry. I spoke to their last top scorer, Jo Maraginot, earlier and asked her about their biggest takeaways from Creamline, which they plan to apply today. And she shared that it would have to be mental toughness, composure, and confidence during the end game. In her words, nakita namin kung paano di sila bumigay despite being down by many points. They weren't phased at all, and yun yung gusto ng coaching staff na matutunan namin as a newer team. Now, Cignal may have dominated that first set, but with these learnings from last Thursday, along with the crucial in-game adjustments of Coach Taka here, we can definitely expect the Chameleons to step up and deliver, hoping to make this game at least a 4-setter. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app, where you can get the most extensive coverage of the PVL. You can view this through main view, multicam, and fan stream. Download now on Google Play, Apple Store, or via PilipinasLive.com. Now back to you, Denise and Mela.
I mean, it's true what Kyla mentioned, that even if Cignal was able to grab a set 1 win, you can see the confidence of the Nxled Chameleons still very much present. They were not affected by that loss whatsoever.
Well, kasi nga ito, clearly they know the goal of this game. It's for them to learn. That's why they're moving with less pressure. And we see the leading scorers per team, Gander with 9, Ebon with 5 points. And so far, the points here in the second set for Nxled nanggagaling dun sa mga through the block eh. So kailangan talaga bilisan ng sets ni Camille Cal because very established ang blocking ng Cignal, obviously, in this game. So kailangan mag-adjust sila dun sa setting and atake.
And just a 1-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers. Rose Doria with 4 points, 3 attacks and 1 block. Cal setting to Jo Maraginot. They go to Gonzaga. Great blocking by both squads. Ravenna back sets that to Jo. Gonzaga once again to the back inside.
Ito naman yung mga ginagawang atake ni Jov Gonzaga. I believe that's her 6th point. And earlier, she also did another version of this, targeting the end line. And look at her approach. Talagang pang beach volleyball. And the hesitation of Laika Ebon to defend that ball dahil akala niya pa-outside na eh. Paangat kasi yung trajectory ng bola. But clearly, tansyado yan ni Jovelyn Gonzaga. Just like Rosalyn Doria, tansyado yung kanyang service. Getting an ace out of that last one.
Mas ngayon nakikita natin, mas pulido na ngayon ang Cignal HD Spikers. After that shaky set 1 with all the jitters and all the first game hang-ups. But now, they are playing the way that all the fans know the way they play. Consistent, like a well-oiled team. And let's see if that will continue, that consistency. They'll be able to continue against the Nxled Chameleons. Judith Abel coming on the game for Jo Maraginot.
Jo Maraginot being asked by Coach Taka to get a different perspective from outside the court, to refresh her mind. This is a 4-0 run by Cignal. And the momentum was going to be cut by that substitution by Coach Taka. And if you take a look at the team matchups, sa spiking, number 5 itong Cignal, number 10 yung Nxled. Sa blocking, magkadikit lang, 6 and 7. Cignal getting an advantage. But sa serving, dyan malaki yung advantage because Nxled is number 1 in that department. But we did mention how close they are in blockings, and that was a solid double block by the Nxled Chameleons. Look at that, Camille Victoria guarding Vanny Gandler well. And showing them that they're also capable to produce those skill blocks as much as Cignal.
The Nxled Chameleons on a 2-0 run, but that one was quickly ended by Jovelyn Gonzaga.
Hindi na to beach volley, talagang indoor volleyball na tong ganitong kabaon na palo. And Jov Gonzaga, hindi lang arms yung may follow through, even her head. Because the elevation was really high from that last attack. And May Luna is going to produce her own version of a power hit, getting that point through the block. And look at the leadership of May Luna.
And this is what you like to see, yung sagutan ng Cignal HD Spikers and the Nxled Chameleons, providing to be a perfect force game for our triple game header here this Saturday.
Well, if there's one thing about the Chameleons, we know that they are capable to challenge the more veteran teams. They did it with the other teams, even winning a set over PLDT and really forcing the others kapag nakakadikit sila sa mga set scores.
I mean, they're living true to their team name, Chameleons, blending in with the veterans, with the more established teams, putting up a fight. That's why you really cannot discount this team. But the Cignal HD Spikers are on fire right now. They're bouncing back quickly from all of their mistakes and their errors, really not letting up against the Chameleons.
We have to credit Coach Taka for his remarkable impact on the girls, despite being new, despite being hilaw pa over the other players. Nakakapag-perform sila at this level. Look at that coverage by Camille Cal.
Ball still alive. Cayuna to Meneses. Just at the net. Danny giving that to Judith Abel. Cayuna to Ces Molina.
Jel Cayuna really knows her spikers well, giving a combination play to the MVP, forcing the Nxled to the first technical timeout courtesy of Cignal, 13-8.
Jump.
More games are headed your way this Saturday live here at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. We've got the Akari Chargers against the Petrogas Angels coming right up. And later this afternoon, you've got the Cherry Tigo Crossovers against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. Again, just to remind everyone, so far, the 2 slots in the semifinals have already been secured by the Creamline Cool Smashers and the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. But we've still got 2 slots remaining. And right now, the Cignal HD Spikers are trying to clinch a victory and secure their slot in the semifinals. Meanwhile, the Nxled Chameleons will try to ruin that endeavor, proving to be the villains for the Cignal HD Spikers today. The first technical timeout in the Cignal HD Spikers are leading 13-7, 13-8, if I remember correctly. Here in set 2, Cignal is already able to grab 1 set. Cesc Molina with a soft touch, securing a point fresh of a technical timeout, much to the frustration of Coach Taka that we're seeing on the sidelines.
I think itong Cignal, talagang na-scout nila na magandang target yung Zone 2 area na yan. Kasi since the beginning of the first set, they've been trying to drop balls in that area and it's been very effective for them. As we saw another 4-0 run on the side of the HD Spikers.
Ravenna to May Luna.
May Luna hitting smart using the hands of the blockers.
These are the kinds of hits that Nxled really needs right now.
That's right. Dahil pag hindi nila nilikutan yung palo nila, most often than not, nabablock eh. Very good wall being put up by the HD Spikers today.
Camille Cal right now with 7 excellent sets. Gel to Vanny Gander, running attack from the back.
Vanny Gander. 10 points already, the top scorer in this whole game so far, and we are just in the middle of the second set. Clearly, such high confidence gained by this PVL rookie, given the opportunity to really explode with her numbers. Because previously, maganda na talaga yung mga pinapakita ni Vanny in the previous conference, but of course, she had limited minutes, and right now, she have full minutes on the floor. And it's been paying off for Coach Shaq and the HD Spikers.
I mean, she's proving her worth and it's doing wonders for the way that she's playing, really maturing during her stay here at the Cignal HD Spikers.
Again, that Zone 2 area targeted by multiple players on the side of Cignal, and so far have worked well for all of them who attempted to target that. As Nxled calls for a timeout, they're down by 7 points, 16-9.
You cannot cover. Always try to using a bro. And have a connection.
Yes, what's that?
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
It's okay. Try now. Challenge.
Yes.
Using a middle blocker.
Okay.
It's okay.
Over tayo, ha?
Okay. But don't forget covering also. Covering.
Over tayo.
Always attacker behind the block is covering. Okay. Go. Tara. Go.
The best cheer dancing competition in the country is back. Catch the UAAP Season 86 Cheer Dance Competition on December 2 at 2 p.m. at the Mall of Asia Arena, and watch it live on One Sports, UAAP Varsity Channel, and Filipinas Live. Again, Coach Taka reminding the girls, coverage is what's most important right now. Gonzaga giving away that to Cesc Molina. Cal to Ebon. And a cross-guard attack by Cesc Molina. You can see her celebrating that one.
Well, a very different story from how they played against Cherry Tigo. Very fierce, but ngayon, definitely lighter, more enjoyment inside the court. Less serious, but it doesn't mean that they're not serious about what they're doing. I mean, you know, their game faces aren't the same way as last time.
Which is such a nice sight to see, considering that their burden is heavy right now, but the air, their energy, and the vibe quite light. We're seeing a stark contrast to their storyline.
Ito rin naman yung kailangan nila, no? Dahil nga yung pressure, andyan na yun sa matchup nila today. But they need to play lighter for them to really show their potential and their full, you know, the extent of their team.
What a set by Jel Cayuna to Rose Doria. And there was no receiving that one. Cal, tumakas lang, sending it to the back. But sadly, too strong outside. 8-point lead, 9-point lead now for the Cignal HD Spikers.
See the look of frustration on catch pakas lang. So far, nothing had been working right for them at this point. It's a big cushion, 19-10.
Ooh, single block by Jovelyn Gonzaga. Excuse me, ma'am. Just the confidence and the length of Jovelyn Gonzaga with that one.
Well, that's something you do kapag hindi ka nakahabol ng maayos, hindi ka naka-sidestep. But Gonzaga making sure that her hand was on the other side to get that block
blink,
touch.
Mela.
That's right.
She did not blink. Ooh, but like Evon also trying, again, the intention is there for a down-the-line attack. But what is going on right now with the Nxled Chameleons? As you can see, you know, Coach Taka questioning that as well, because all the intentions of the players, you see that it's all in the right place. But the execution, it's not clicking.
And we see Coach Taka clueless on what to do next because it seems like they've exhausted their options already. But sabi mo nga, yung execution dun nagkakaroon ng problema. As we see Malabanan entering the court, this is a big enough lead for Coach Shaq to field in more players to gain experience. Acuna and Malabanan inside the court right now for the HD Spikers, but Jacqueline is going to throw that one away.
10-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers. Again, these mistakes, they can't afford to make them. But Nxled should be capitalizing on this one so they can turn the tide to their favor.
3 points away from getting a 2-set lead. But Makaslang finally getting a point from the service line this time. Talent in this girl right here.
Coach Shaq really has such a good problem. His bench, his roster, all talented players. Scout sets that up for Jo Maraginot. See, to Vanny Gandler. Cal, back to Jo. In between Malabanan and Acuna.
What a set by Camille Cal. Take a look at that again. She was clearly on the sideline. Perfect set to Jo Maraginot. Great contact as well. Just enough clippings para maibaon yung atake na yon. Imagine mga labnan in right now with Janine Navarro. Still a 10-point lead by the HD Spikers. We see different players on the floor right now for both teams, as Giselle sees also on the floor for Coach Shaq and Cignal.
Good serve, see? Running to set that to Vanny Gander, attack error.
That was a tough set to hit. Sinubukang ibaon ni Vanny, but mahirap yon yung galing sa zone 1 tapos parang bump set na umiikot.
I mean, she quickly admitted na kulang sa height with that set. This one, a higher one. They go to Malabanan, cross court. Maraginot once again. See to Vanny.
Great blockings put up by the Nxled Chameleons.
Long rally here in set 2. Our longest rally yet this time around. Soft touch by Jerly Malabanan. Great defense by both squads. As Joe Maraginot ends that thrilling rally.
Coach Shaq was very close to the side and the end line. So, parang nagsilbing lines judge na din siya doon. He was calling it out. But the point was awarded to Nxled, and they're gonna challenge this point.
And if successful, that will lead the Cignal HD Spikers to a set point. Meanwhile, if it is unsuccessful, the Nxled Chameleons will stay alive here in set 2. As we look at this replay in slow-mo, effective lines judge nga si Coach Sak.
Bigyan ng flag yan.
Confident siya.
Challenge is successful.
He knew. But then, the Nxled Chameleons will also be calling their own challenge.
There's a challenge on the call by Nxled.
A block touch. So we're right on theme here. Both teams sagutan na rin with their own challenges. And might as well, we're here at the latter part of set 2.
But look at Coach Taka on the side talking to Camille Cal and Laika Ebon. Parang hindi naman sila stressed.
I mean, he's smiling. But it is an unsuccessful challenge.
And for sure, they're trying to strategize on how they could bounce back on the next set, because Cignal is now 1 point away from getting this set as Coach Shaq fields in another player in Troncoso. Usually, pag nasa ganito na, niraraffle na yung last point eh. But it seems like Acuna wanted that set point under her belt, and she's gonna score an ace. You see it landed right on the end line. Kiara Permentilla's disappointment, and Cignal now at 2 sets up over the Nxled Chameleons.
we're back. Again, the Cignal HD Spikers against the Nxled Chameleons. 2-0, 25-17, 25-14. Will the Nxled Chameleons be able to push this to a 5-setter? That is the big question, because right now the Cignal HD Spikers are on a roll.
We see a lot of improvements on the side of Cignal, and we see more people showing up as well for their squad. And Jovelyn Gonzaga, a lot of impact in that second set. From offense to defense, Coach Taka tried out several players as well to make an impact on their side. Dahil Jo Maraguinot has been scoring, pero on and off din. So, yung consistency na dinidisplay ng Cignal, that's definitely what's lacking on the side of Nxled. They have more attack points. Talking about Cignal again. Dahil kanina, this was 16. Lesser attack points in this set, but definitely more over Nxled's 8. But the block points and aces still at 4 and 2. But this time, itong Nxled Chameleons managed to have one of each from those departments, and even committed more errors. Dahil kanina, 3 lang yung errors ng Nxled in the first set. Right now, it's 7, and Cignal had more discipline in this set, limiting their errors to 4, while also overpowering Nxled in those scoring departments.
I mean, that's why we saw Coach Taka on the sidelines quite frustrated with everything that's been happening, because as we discussed a while ago, the intentions of the Nxled Chameleons were all right. Their hearts were in the right place. It's just that nagkukulang sa execution. But right now, new streaming experiences also await via the Pilipinas Live app that's available for Filipinos everywhere. So download and subscribe now for 149 pesos. Krish Makaslang smiling, unburdened as well. Says Molina, game faces on for the Cignal HD Spikers as they try to secure their slot in the semifinals. They don't want any more tears for this conference. Tama na raw ang iyak.
Makaslang with 3 points already in this game. Definitely outpowered by the middles of Cignal, with Doria scoring 7 already. Meneses just 2 points, pero ang gaganda rin ng mga block touches niya. Make that another point for Doria, her 8th point in this game.
And right now, I wonder how many players for Cignal are already in double digits because of Jelica Yuna's playmaking.
Currently, isa pa lang, Vanny Gandler, pero mabilis yung paghabol ni Jov Gonzaga and Doria.
Look at that. Says Molina, sending that to the back. May Luna was there. Camille Cal.
Again, the blockings of the Cignal HD Spikers and their defense as well.
And Vanny Gandler, really, that's becoming a sweet spot for her. That back row attack that's been working so well for this lady. I mean, look at that. Leading scorers, Gandler, 11 points to Maraguinot's 5. She is on fire.
5 points as well. So, doon natin makikita yung consistency and yung efficiency in terms of the attack percentage. Medyo mas mataas talaga on the side of Cignal. Kasi mas marami silang options. That's why the blockers really more confused on who to block. Tingnan nyo naman, a big opening on the cross court for Jov Gonzaga. So, take a look at this slow-mo replay. Siksik na siksik si Makaslang. Buka din yung kanyang distance from the net, giving the veteran Jov Gonzaga a big opening on what she does best.
I mean, you're really going to be confused. You have Molina, Doria, and Gonzaga in the front row. Gandler in her sweet spot at the back. Cignal right now is at their prime. But the Nxled Chameleons finally stopped the bleeding with that point. And you just need to be able to put up a fight for the Chameleons and make those in-game adjustments. You want to get those experiences, and you want to prove to be a worthy opponent for the Cignal HD Spikers right now.
Ginagamit din talaga ng Cignal yung mga departments na they are at an advantage over Nxled, because they lead over Nxled in spiking, blocking, and setting. And so far, it's been the key for the HD Spikers. Pero ito naman, number 1 sa service among all 12 teams, itong Nxled Chameleons. And they need to capitalize on any strength na may makita sila. But Doria scoring her 9th point already. Nagtatanong ako ilan yung double digits. Konti na lang. Magiging 2 na sila ni Vanny Gandler as she gets fed by Jel Cayuna with yet another quick set.
And you can see Coach Shaq right now also very much relaxed and happy with the outcome of this game so far.
Well, kung ano yung ginagawang tama ng Cignal, parang lost naman itong Nxled on that department. Imagine, Jov Gonzaga should have been a marked woman right now, but she goes up against a big gap between blockers' hands.
I mean, that's why Coach Taka said in a timeout, coverage. Make sure there is coverage. And right now, the Nxled Chameleons have to make sure that you have that coverage. As we go to Kyla's report on the Cignal HD Spikers. Kyla?
Denise and Mela, with what we're seeing from Cignal this afternoon, it is...
But before that report, right now a challenge is called. The first one here in set 3. A block touch challenge. We'll try to get more stories from Kyla later on.
If it's good serve, and more make it two players, fast formation is wide. Raise small is okay. Okay.
And let's look at this slow-mo.
Go, go, go.
An unsuccessful challenge for the Nxled Chameleons, but Coach Taka took advantage of that moment of pause to be able to talk to the girls and get a quick timeout in.
They really need to cut the momentum of the HD Spikers at that point, hence the challenge, because as our new rules here in the PVL, the coaches only get 1 timeout per set. But so far, the Cignal HD Spikers continue to dominate in this game. 7-2 already. Another 4-0 run. Make that 5 by the Cignal HD Spikers. Clearly a lot of frustrations on the side of the Chameleons as they can't seem to score a point over Cignal.
We go back to Kyla for her report on the Cignal HD Spikers. Kyla?
Thanks, Denise and Mela. Now, what we're seeing from the Cignal HD Spikers this afternoon, it is clear that they've entered this game day more than ready for a satisfying comeback win. Now, earlier you guys mentioned that Cignal is a veteran-led team that has proved time and time again that they are a formidable force in this Premier League. And their former MVP, Cesc Molina, shared with me that lumalabas talaga yung A-game nila when they are enjoying and giving off nothing but good energy on the court. And Denise, to affirm what you said earlier, Cesc shared that today is less about being serious and all business and more about playing smarter and being very intentional. More than making the semi, Cesc exclaimed that it's about returning to their system and reminding the league of what their brand of Cignal Volleyball is all about. Kaya naman hindi sila pwedeng maging kampante in this final chance for Nxled to keep this game alive. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Get the most extensive PVL coverage and catch the games live in main view, multicam, and fan stream on selected games. Now available on Google Play, Apple Store, or via PilipinasLive.com. Now back to you, Denise and Mela.
And it's so great seeing, of course, Cesc Molina, Jovelyn Gonzaga, Riri Meneses smiling, because you rarely see them smile, you know, in the latter part of this conference when there is so much at stake right now for the team.
Always serious, but you know, they really need this kind of game na hindi sila natatense, sila nape-pressure, and just really going all out while doing the right things for their team. But that's very in contrast to what's going on the side of Nxled. Kung puro tama yung ginagawa dito sa Cignal, sa kabila naman, they can't seem to find the right things to do to score of points.
Good serve by Jovelyn Gonzaga. She sets that one for Molina. Mangalabnan to May Luna. Gel to Riri Meneses. Outside. And she scrambled for that attack. And now the Nxled Chameleons were able to cut down the lead to 5 points.
Service, Caps Victoria.
And our player spotlight for today's game counts Victoria against Riri Meneses. How are these two faring so far in today's game?
Look at Jov Gonzaga. Kanina, hands down talaga tayo sa atake niya. She went on all angles so far in this game already. May long balls, may cut shot, may deep cross down the line na baon. But the digging of Jovelyn Gonzaga today is also at another level. Alam naman natin she's really an all-around player. But she really did everything today. I think she had 2 block points in the second set as well. So when we say that Cignal is led by veterans, Jov Gonzaga is really one of the names na alam mo, from skills to the intangibles, yung leadership, being vocal. That's who she is for Coach Hack and the rest of the HD Spikers.
A service error from Vanny Gandler, but right now, what's sticking to me about Jovelyn Gonzaga and her performance for today is that one arm block.
You're right.
That was crazy. Like, she was straight as a
Nagulat ka
post.
kasi sa'yo nakaharap
Yeah, I
eh.
was like, whoa. And she was perfectly still like a statue.
Look at that. Perfect passing as well. Jel Cayuna hindi nagagalaw sa pwesto niya and it also allows Jel Cayuna to perfectly set up the middles. That's why the MBs of Cignal have more output in this game over Nxled as they go to the first technical timeout here in the third set.
Jump.
Boost your watch list this November with Cignal's Quick Boost. Enjoy more channels with no extra fees. Just load your prepaid box with loads 300 to 600 or pay your postpaid bill. You've got, of course, our question a while ago here for today's game. Who will be the top scoring outside hitter in today's match? And you've got the options Ces Molina, Vanny Gandler, Junith Abil, and May Luna. So let's find out. Just keep sending. We've got our poll results right now. Vanny Gandler leading with 51%. It says Molina, of course, 41%. Meanwhile, to the Nxled Chameleons, May Luna and Judith Abil tied at 4%. And it's no wonder there that Vanny is leading. She's in double digits. The first one in her team to reach here in today's match.
Well, that poll is very accurate, I think. Because right now, Vanny Gander leading and followed by Ces Molina with 8 points. At least in terms of the OH today. The second best scorer in the game is Jov Gonzaga, who's on the opposite. May Luna, Cignal Puso, kapit para sa Nxled Chameleons, producing a point off the hands of the blockers.
And she is definitely not giving up. You can see the aggressiveness in May Luna's eyes. Ooh, but Doria as well. Her aggressiveness has been the same from the very start until here in set 3. And there's a reason why she's been such a scoring machine for the Cignal HD Spikers in today's match.
3 players in double digits already for the HD Spikers, all thanks to that girl on your screens, Jelka Yuna, setting up a lot of options. And of course, her Spikers really delivering.
At saka yun na nga sabi ni Mela, hindi na umaalis si Jelka Yuna in her spot. But May Luna continuously providing bright spots for the Nxled Chameleons. 8 serving 14 as Krish Makaslang goes into the service area. Again, she is right now leading in our conference. 8 serving 14 once again. Good serve. Jelka Yuna back set to Ces Molina. Quick attack. 15-8. 9 points for Ces Molina. 1 more point, and now it's going to be 4 players in the double digits for the Cignal HD Spikers.
And you know, it really shows how talented Jelka Yuna is as a setter, because imagine, ang Cignal is number 8 in receiving. They are number 10 in digging, but they managed to convert a lot of their spikes here today against Nxled.
And you can see that Cignal right now is sending the Nxled Chameleons scrambling for defense.
First line quick attack. What a connection between Jelka Yuna and Rosalyn Doria. Let's take a look at that again. Jump set. You see the elevation of Rosalyn Doria. Talagang lagpas yung ulo niya sa net. And it leaves her with a lot of options kung saan niya dadalhin yung palo niya at kaya pang mag-first line. 10 points already for Ces Molina after that service ace.
And now that's 4 players for the Cignal HD Spikers in double digits. Again, the playmaking and the setting of Jelka Yuna, just chef's kiss for today's game.
An overall improved game for the HD Spikers, clearly recovering from that 5-setter loss against the Cheritigo crossovers. But speaking of recovery, Laika Ebon gagawa ng paraan. A great back set as well from Camille Cal. 6 points for Laika Ebon today. Let's see if they'll pull off a miracle and catch up. But this is already a big disparity. Cignal 8 points away. That's 6 points away from taking this game in straight sets.
And Laika Ebon has been a bit quiet in set 2 and set 3. I mean, set 1, she really was making noise, one of the go-to scorers. But she took a step back as Chinchin Basas will be coming in for Vanny Gandler. And Chinchin Basas is also a very well-known scorer for the Cignal HD Spikers. So let's see.
Chin Basa, she has this certain timing with her attacks that makes it hard for the blockers to block her.
Doria to Jovelyn Gonzaga. And it's these shots of Gonzaga that you think is going to be outside, fooling the Nxled Chameleons, but she ain't fooling anyone. She's scoring.
Taas kasi ng contact niya, and yung kaya niyang paikutin yung bola kasi like the others would get easily blocked dahil binabaon nila yung palo nila for it to appear really strong. But Jov Gonzaga just really hitting it smart. And just look at that ball put up by Meneses and Jovelyn Gonzaga. Landed right on the Spiker's foot.
And you know it, when the lead is 29, Coach Sack can enjoy the substitution of his players. Acuna back on the court.
Ria magre-retire na muna dito sa gilid. I think kota na siya for today. But
She's done her
Doria-
part. I'm pretty sure Coach Shaq is very much proud of her. Gel to Chinchin Basas.
What a timing! Did you see the tempo of the already scored 5 points, even the same with their players who played throughout the game.
Gel Cayuna, back set to Acuna.
Look at the teamwork of Cignal. Talagang pag may na-block, may magko-cover, and when other players scramble, others make sure to fill up their slots.
This is what Coach Taka wanted for the Nxled Chameleons, yung coverage. As we enjoy a long rally here in set 3. Gel to Chinchin Basas. Blocked by Cam's Victoria.
At that time, that Camille I think Jovelyn Gonzaga wore the wrong uniform today. Kala ko libero siya. Dami niya ng cover na bola.
Parang she's competing with Jonella here. Hindi Nxled. Gel Cayuna to Acuna. This time to Jovelyn Gonzaga. Camille Cal. Gel was there. Danny sets that for May Luna, and just May Luna, so consistent for the Nxled Chameleons. My goodness.
May Luna really stepping up in this game today on behalf of Kiarper Montilla, who scored 8 points against Streamline. So 6 points already for May Luna.
And you bet, you know, she is scoring slowly and slowly para makahabol sa 22 points in Cignal HD Spikers. Chinchin Basas in between Camille Cal and Cam's Victoria. Wow!
Again, the timing that I've been talking about. Tignan niya si Chinchin. Yung contact niya sa bola is pagpababa na siya, unlike others who would hit it on their peak reach sa taas. But actually, this one-of-a-kind timing is actually very hard for the blockers to read. That's why she's been stacking up points here for the Cignal HD Spikers, as we see Giselle C inside the court for Gel Cayuna.
And only Chinchin Basas can do that. I mean, she's got those quick hands to be able to make those millisecond decisions. 14-23. Nxled Champions still staying alive here in set 3.
Perfect pass. And this is what happens because the HD Spikers have really been exerting efforts on the reception and digging. All throughout the game, we've seen how evident their efforts are on defense have been. Kaya naman napaka-successful ng kanilang middle game today over the Nxled Chameleons. It's been identified as one of their strengths over Nxled, and they've been using it throughout the game.
And now we're here at match point for the Cignal HD Spikers. And that's ended by Ces Molina. They're able to secure a victory 3-0 against the Nxled Chameleons.
And that last point is actually a reflection of this game today. Veteran move by Ces Molina over the younger Camille Callen Co. And they get this win in 3 straight sets, recovering from that 5-set loss against the Cherry Tigo crossovers and keeping their Final Four hopes alive after this 3-set win over the Chameleons.
Now relive this game and all PVL games anytime, anywhere on the Filipinas Live app. Available for Filipinos everywhere. So download and subscribe now for 149 pesos. And we come back, we're going to talk to the player of the game. And again, this is just the first game of our triple game header here in the PVL.
Jump.
25-17, 25-14, 25-14. Really an emphatic win by the Cignal HD Spikers against the Nxled Chameleons. And you saw the Chameleons try to, of course, snatch an upset here in set 1, but really no match for the way that the Cignal HD Spikers are playing right now. As we go to Kyla with our best player of the game, none other than the legend herself, Jovelyn Gonzaga.
Thanks, Anise and Mela. Here with me is our best player of the game, Jov Gonzaga, with 12 points, 9 attacks, and 3 blocks. So, unang-una, big congratulations to you and, of course, to the Cignal HD Spikers for a satisfying bounce-back win today. Now, we know that you came from an intense 5-setter against Cherry Tigo. So, ano yung biggest takeaways nyo na in-apply nyo for this win today?
Sobrang sakit yung talo namin against Cherry Tigo. So, kumbaga, pero nag-move on na kami doon. Ang sabi ng coaching staff namin, must win yung 2 remaining games namin. So, nag-focus talaga kami sa training. Kinalimutan na namin yung past game. Nag-focus kami para ma-achieve namin yung goal namin ngayon na may panalo yung game talaga. So, nakita naman natin yung naging outcome ng pinagtrabahuan namin during trainings.
Yes, Jov. Now, your team is one step closer to making the semi-finals this conference, but you have one last game against the Jer Floor Defenders. So, ano yung mindset nyo entering that matchup to end this preliminary round strong?
Ang mindset namin talaga, muna kami, 1 game at a time. So, nakafocus muna kami sa Jer Floor. Kailangan namin yun matapos na panalo para may baon kaming pride and confidence sa semis. So, yun, saka na namin pag-usapan kung anong game plan namin sa next na mga...
Okay, Jov, now a big factor of Cignal's success is really, of course, the great playmaking and distribution of Jel Cayuna. So what can you say about how every member is really able to contribute to your wins?
Actually, kinikredit ko talaga si Jel kanina sa sets kasi ang ganda ng ball distributions niya sa amin and napadali niya yung buhay namin. So credit talaga. Ang panalo namin to, credit talaga kay Jel Cayuna.
Lastly, is there anyone you want to greet or invite? Go ahead.
Yeah, gina-invite ko ang tanan ko nga kasi manwa sa Iloilo nga maglantaw ka mo this December 2 sa San Agustin Gymnasium. Makadto dira ang PVL team and for sure mag-enjoy ka mo kagahatagan nila kamo sang manaming nga hampang.
Maybe you want to greet some friends, family, of course, your fans.
Lahat ng fans ko nagtitiwala, yung kumares ko, yung family Gonzaga, lahat ng Team Cignal naniniwala at nagtitiwala sa amin kung saan man kami ngayon, and ang buong hukbong katihan ng Pilipinas.
There you have it. That was Job Gonzaga, our best player of the game. Congratulations once again to you and to the Cignal HD Spikers. Now back to you, Denise and Melo.
Thank you for that, Kyla. Again, Joven and Gonzaga really just crediting the amazing playmaking of Jel Cayuna that we kept repeating also throughout the whole game. Let's look at some of the match highlights. As we saw the Cignal HD Spikers, really how Jel was able to display the prowess, you know, of the attacking skills of her squad.
Nakita naman natin how evident yung mga sets ni Jel Cayuna ay it allowed the players four players to score in double digits, and even itong si Meneses, hindi man siya naka-double digits. She had a lot of highlights also in this game. As we take a look at the Cignal attack game today, almost doubling the output of the Nxled Chameleons and even the other scoring departments. The blockings, this is a 7-point disparity on that department. And sa service aces as well, they produce 5 points more than the Nxled Chameleons. Sa errors nagkatalo, kaya dyan napupunta yung momentum minsan sa Nxled Chameleons, especially during the early parts of the first set. But nonetheless, consistency was the game of Cignal today. And Nxled, definitely a lot of things to look forward to in their team, a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but this time the veterans really taking it in just 3 straight sets because of their consistency and discipline.
And this is what they were saying, that they're here to display what the Cignal HD Spiker system is all about. And up next, you've got the Akari Chargers against the Petrogas Angels here at the PVL, the heart of volleyball, to be followed by the Cherry Tigo Crossovers against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. And in behalf of the broadcast panel, my partner Mela Tunay and our courtside reporter Kyla Kingsley, thank you so much for tuning in here at the PVL All-Filipino Conference, the heart of volleyball.
Take it from me, Rem Palma is premier. We all know Ate Rem is a very swaggy player. So she really embodies that block, like she owns the block. Your teammates seeing you being very confident also gives them a confidence boost. See you sa net, Ate Rem.